Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is episode 3 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Okay, so last episode we finally got introduced to John Walker, this new Captain America character, and we kind of knew that he wasn't going to be the nicest guy. He's kind of presented at the start as quite likable, but you could tell there was something off about him, you know? And then towards the end of the episode, he showed his true colors. We finally got to see Bucky and Sam interact, and as always, their banter was great. Just, you know, taking the mick out of each other and whatnot. So there's this group, the Flag Smashers, who have been stealing this medicine, which I don't believe is medicine. I think it's super soldier serum, which, just going off how all of them are super soldiers, you know, that seems quite obvious to me. And then we saw Carly, this leader of the Flag Smashers. She received a text saying, "You stole what was mine." Now, that led me to believe that John Walker wants to get his hands on the super soldier serum, and that's kind of where the conflict will occur. But it also makes me wonder if Sam would ever get the super soldier serum, because Bucky does, the Flag Smashers do. Could Sam receive it? I don't know. Does he really need it? He's already good enough with his wings, so does he really need to be enhanced further? But it's always an advantage, I guess, to just have the extra strength. So they're finally going to see Zemo, which I'm really excited for. Zemo is my favourite villain out of the MCU, so seeing him return is really exciting. And kind of when they were reintroducing him, they're showing like chessboards and that kind of imagery. Just, it makes me think that there's going to be more to him than just him being locked up in a prison this whole time. He's a master manipulator. He's going to have some kind of plan to escape and to be manipulating things behind the scenes. I think he could have something to do with the Flag Smashers. There's something more deeper going on here. There's something deeper going on here. We still haven't met Sharon Carter. She's we all know that she's in the show from the credits. You see her there and from the trailers and things. So I wonder when she will return. I imagine it's soon, because this is really the halfway point of the series. It's only 6 episodes. Before we get into the episode, consider checking out the Patreon. Over there you'll find full-length timer-based reactions, early access for shows that aren't currently airing, so Falcon and Winter Soldier, there won't be early access because I'm not a time traveller. And then there'll also be polls to decide upcoming movies and future TV shows. Consider leaving a like, subscribing, and leaving a comment. If there's any feedback you have, anything I can improve, does the audio sound okay? You know? Yeah, let's just get into the episode.
When half of us came back, it was time to rejoice and reunite. The Global Repatriation Council knows that it wasn't
This is who
so much has changed.
John Walker's working for.
Delete, shred, or breathe.
Oh, this is where the Flag Smashers were last episode.
Do you know who I am?
Oh, he's losing it. He's losing it already.
I know you want this. I get it. But we've literally tried everything we can here. So is Langley. We keep drawing blanks.
I know you want this. It's the serum. That's what he wants.
All right, give us a sec.
Is he gonna go to see Zemo as well?
I got it.
Zemo, he can just start. You can re-mind wash him, can't he? If Zemo just starts listing off the words to activate him. Oh, here he is.
17.
Those days are over.
Thing is still in there.
Hmm.
At least you were not conscious for most of your imprisonment.
Someone recreated the super soldier serum. I need to find out who.
US military.
You are assuming Hydra has something to do with this.
Yeah, it's not Hydra.
Why you came to me, which means you are desperate. Luckily for you, I know where to begin.
What are you talking about? You want to break Zemo out of jail?
What?
No leads, no moves, nothing.
Yeah, what we have is one of the most dangerous men in the world behind
I thought he'd break out on his own, not through manipulating Sam and Bucky.
We don't know how they're getting the serum. We don't even know how many of them there are. Look, let me just walk you through.
I think they stole the serum from the US military, who were going to give it to John Walker.
Wouldn't be hard to slip down a hallway or two.
Is this just his plan, or is this actually happening? Okay, so it actually happened.
Because I knew you wouldn't let this happen, okay?
What did you do?
We need him, Sam.
You're going back to prison.
If I may.
No!
I wasn't expecting this at all.
Where do we start?
Wow.
To recreate the serum. Because once it's out there,
There is.
I ended the Winter Soldier program.
He's gonna backstab them at some point.
So all this time you've been rich?
I'm a baron, Sam. My family was royalty until your friends destroyed my country. Zdravo ti, Esli.
I don't know. I kind of like in Civil War, it seemed like he was just kind of a regular guy who was out for revenge. Maybe he had military ties, but he wasn't like super rich like this. It seemed like in Civil War, it was just he was in Sokovia, this kind of poor country. It didn't seem like he had this kind of money.
Duvka zверства. Dайте вон.
Don't push it. I've seen that book. It was Steve's when he came out of the ice. I told him about Trouble Man. He wrote it in that book.
Oh, that's the same book.
I like 40s music, so
You didn't like it?
I liked it.
It is a masterpiece, James. Complete. Captures the African-American experience.
He's out of line, but he's right. Everybody.
The danger with people like him, America's super soldiers, is that we put them on pedestals.
Mm-hmm.
They become symbols, icons, and then we start to forget about their flaws. You will have to become someone you claim is gone.
It's like this secret, lawless place. GLC. So the GLC have camps, I guess, for the people that were displaced.
Should be with her now.
That's where the logo comes from. So what's Carly trying to do? The world was better without a mum there? Or her mum, maybe her mum has some kind of illness and she's come back because of the blip
If we have to do something
and now has to suffer because of that.
Only an American
I love Zemo's coat as well.
has a bad nickname.
I don't. Is Madripoor like a real place, or is it just like a comic, something they've taken from the comics? I like this kind of seedy underworld kind of vibe they've got going on. This kind of world building is great because there's some world building in the MCU, but nothing like this. Okay, so that was from the credit. He's gonna have to drink this now. You can tell something's up. Come on. Sam isn't blending in at all. Zemo likes having the power over him, even if it's fake.
Figured out what I'm here for.
You're taller than I'd heard. Smiling tiger.
He hasn't smiled once.
He will do anything you want.
You can see how much Buck is just hating it.
Situation exactly are you talking about?
Are you high?
You know what situation is the only situation.
Like this.
Situation, Sarah, say it.
The damn boat. And watch your tone, okay?
I'll let you slide at the bank.
The bank, yeah. Laundered so much money.
Sam, I'm sorry. Let me call you back.
There we go.
Sam, kill them.
Who's that? They've got someone on the side. Sharon?
They're gonna pin this on us.
Sharon's been following them. 2,000 bitcoins, that's a lot of money. Oh, yep, there we go, he's gone. Zemo's ducked out. Now he's out in the wild.
Seem to have a guardian angel.
Well, this is too perfect.
Yeah.
Drop it, Zemo.
Sharon?
So he ran off there to grab something or something.
I didn't have the Avengers to back me up, so I'm off the grid in Magic War.
Hey, don't blow that smoke at me. I was on a run too.
Is big difference.
Mm.
My family anymore. I can't. My own father doesn't know where I am.
Listen,
Wow, I didn't know that was her situation. He's up to something. He was getting something, seeing someone even for a split second.
exits in places like this.
Okay, guys, I see what you're doing. You're more worldly than good old Sam. I'm sorry I didn't call.
Zemo's got his hand in his pocket.
Cap's best friend.
Oh, she's kind of awful now.
Carly, seven others.
No, she has a personality now.
You help us out, and I'll get your name clear.
Yeah, see, in the movies, Sharon didn't really have this much depth. It's nice.
Some pretty connected people. I found him.
Oh, he's just here. Okay. Yeah. It's a great hiding spot. I thought it'd be like an old man. Did they just leave it open?
Every bounty hunter in the city is here. We gotta go.
No, if you're out here, do they really? Ooh.
When Hydra fell, I was recruited by the CIA. They had blood samples from an American test subject
Isaiah.
with semi-stable traces. The power broker was more than happy.
So he was with the CIA.
How many vials did you make?
20?
20. Okay, so there's not that much going on. Yeah, there's not too many going around.
I can only imagine what the power broker has planned for that poor girl.
Where's Carly now?
I don't know where she is, but
So what's the new method of injection?
help someone named Donya Madani. Poor woman
Zemo's still up to something. He's feeling around here.
of overpopulation and displacement camps like that.
It looked like Sam noticed though. Sharon's holding her own. There. Is there a new injection method though? Like just inhaling it? Because then at any point someone could just get it. There we go. Zemo take some for himself, because there could still be some in this lab. He could have lied. Because he must have been making more.
Anybody stand every action move.
Oh, here we go. Zemo's got the moves too. We never really saw that side of him in the movies. Oh, what rating is this show? Because you'd never see something like that from the movies. It is slightly more violent. Serum. Ah. Oh. He's gonna try it again.
You're not gonna move your seat up, are you?
So the CIA did have super soldier serum.
Did you ever think you'd end up here doing this?
So I guess she blames the GRC for what's happening to, I'm guessing it was her mum. Okay. Giving the serum, are you giving the serum to the kids? Or did I just misunderstand that?
We've got the last of the serum. The power broker is about to come begging.
Yeah, they've got leverage now.
Okay. So I take it what happens next isn't a strictly on the books type of thing, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I shouldn't have put it in a museum. Maybe I should have destroyed it.
Mm-hmm. It's got a dark history behind it, like a lot of America, you know?
We're changing the course.
They're leaving a lot of control to Zemo. They never even questioned him there, you know?
You've had 6 months worth of supplies just sat there in that building. Don't you understand? We're fighting for our lives.
Yeah.
No.
Quicker to run.
This is the only language these people understand.
Oh, Carly set it up. It's pulling off the deep end. She had such a great point with the food, and then the methods. Leaving Zemo with only one person to look after him. What's Bucky up to now? They're like the beads from Wakanda. Was he placing them? Or is someone from Wakanda here? Shuri?
I was wondering when you were gonna show up.
Oh, okay. Oh, come on. Okay, so Wakanda's gonna have a role in this now. See if there's an end credit. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Okay. There's episode 3. It's a really jam-packed episode, actually. Wow. Let's just start. Okay, so Zemo. I really wasn't expecting this dynamic to form, where it was Zemo working with Sam and Bucky. I thought he'd work with them to some extent just through the prison system from inside his cell, but he's out in the wild and they helped him break out in some sense. Although it did seem like most of the breaking out was him just soloing it. So we got to see a lot more of Zemo. From the way he was presented in Civil War, it seemed like he was just a regular guy, but actually he's this kind of multi-millionaire who's got seeds with this seedy underbelly. With Manipur, he's got ties with Manipur, this kind of underworld kind of place. It was some cool world building. So as I suspected, well, actually, we don't know if the Flag Smashers were transporting in the last episode was the super soldier serum, because they've taken most of it themselves, injected it themselves. It seems like I was questioning what the new injection method was, because before in the first Avenger, you had to have that big setup, but this scientist was saying that he's perfected it. So I imagine it's just like an injection. But I was thinking, if it's something as simple as inhaling or drinking, then there's some play there where, you know, Zemo could just run off screen, take a shot, and he's powered up, or you could spike someone's drink. There's loads of things that could happen with that. But it seems like it's injecting is the method. So they said there was 20 super soldier serums. There's 20 doses of super soldier serum. And we've seen kind of flag smashers. There were 8 of them last episode who were on that kind of the trucks. So that would mean there's 12 unaccounted for. I don't know, I can't remember how many were fighting. So it's kind of around 12 to 15 kind of serums floating around. So I think last episode they were actually transporting vaccines, because this episode they were transporting food. So it seems they're just kind of stealing supplies, kind of like a Robin Hood kind of thing, where they're stealing supplies from the GRC and giving it to the people who've been displaced by the blip, which should be what the GRC are doing, really. But then, of course, we see Carly go too far with the method and blowing up that building with the people who work for the GRC, who are mostly probably innocent, right? Like, they were just workers for the company. They weren't the people who were deciding these things. I do love when they do these kind of fake ads like they did at the start of the episode, because it was just so over the top. So they go to Manipur to see where this super soldier serum is, or find out more information on it. And some quite nice world building for this kind of seedy underbelly city. I don't know if it's a real place or if it's just kind of something from the comics. But it was some nice world building. We don't get a lot of that in the MCU, really. I'd say the most world building we get is kind of Wakanda. Kind of Wakanda and Sokovia when they introduce these fictional places. But outside of that, we don't really have that much world building, at least on Earth, because, you know, with the Guardians and with Asgard, I guess, yeah, there is quite a lot of world building. I don't know. Yeah, I guess they do have good world building, but this kind of seedy underbelly, it was nice to see another side of the world building, I guess. It was funny seeing Sam undercover as Smiling Tiger. He wasn't doing a great job, to be honest, when he had to take that shot. And then I thought that phone call was quite funny because it was actually working out for quite a while. I was surprised Sarah didn't pick up on it, really. It almost worked out the way it was kind of one-sided, but from our side, from the side of the people in Manipur, it did sound like he was just talking to like an assistant or something. But then, of course, it went wrong. And then I clocked on to Sharon being here pretty quick. I think just because we knew she was going to be in the show and we hadn't seen her show up yet. And we saw Zemo did portray them a little bit, but then he's come back again. Something's up, you know. I don't think we can trust him. He's got plans of his own of some sort. So then we saw this interrogation of the Dr. Nagel, who I thought would be a lot older, just because his name was Wilfred, and you kind of associate that with older men. I thought it'd be like the crazy old scientist with grey, spiky hair. We saw from him he used to work for the CIA before the snap, and now after he's been displaced. So we're still seeing a lot of the repercussions from the snap, which is really nice. I'm glad that they keep bringing this up. So now we know that the US government was trying to make a new super soldier serum, but they'd given up once Dr. Nagel had disappeared. And I'm surprised that they didn't rehire, that they just cancelled the program altogether. they didn't just rehire him after the blip, because it seems like something that they would be interested in, having more super soldier serum and having, as he said, potential armies of super soldiers. You know, that's what it was designed for. It wasn't just for a small select few, it was for, it's called the super soldier. So it's supposed to be like a whole, if you had a whole army of super soldiers, you'd be unstoppable. And we can see from the Flag Smashers, who are just a small team, how powerful they really are and how much they can get done. I'm trying to think back on Extremis, and if that was a super soldier, if that was them trying to recreate the super soldier serum, I'm not quite sure, but it's a similar concept from Iron Man 3. And I don't think it's being confirmed, but other people talk about how what happened to Bruce Banner was them trying to recreate the super soldier serum and it going wrong. I can't really remember if it's clear whether that was what caused him to become the Hulk, or if it was gamma radiation, or they're using the gamma radiation to create a super soldier. You know, I'm not sure on the particulars. So we've seen this idea of kind of the super soldier serum come up and up again. It's come up a few times kind of throughout the MCU. And we were reintroduced to Sharon in Mandapore, and it was quite nice to see her again and to get some more depth with her. That's what these Disney Plus shows are doing quite well, is fleshing out some female characters, Wanda and now Sharon. Because, like, if I'm being honest, Sharon never left too much of an impression on me from the movies. She was just kind of there, your typical agent, you know, like her and Maria Hill. This is kind of agents. They never really had much of a unique personality, but now we're seeing a bit more depth with her, how she was misplaced because she's on the run. So it seems like she has a bit more personality now and a bit more individuality, which is nice to see. The MCU doesn't always do a great job with its female characters, especially kind of the ones that aren't part of the main team, the kind of the side ones like Sharon. And then at the end, we saw Wakanda being reintroduced. We saw kind of earlier how Sam mentioned that Wakandans still hold some resentment over Bucky, even though it turned out he was innocent of killing T'Chaka. And it was actually Zemo. So it makes sense why Wakanda are now after Zemo. They want to take care of him themselves. Reintroducing Wakanda brings up the question, what's happening with T'Challa? Because we all know what's happened with Chadwick. Are they going to address that so quickly? Is T'Challa still around? If he is, I don't think we'd see him, unless I don't imagine they'd show him suited up or anything. So at the end of Civil War, T'Challa stopped Zemo from killing himself. Wakanda wanted to have a trial for Zemo on their own terms with their laws, I guess. But then T'Challa realized that that wasn't the way to do it and handed him over to, I don't know, the German government, I guess, or the Sokovian government, and then he was locked up. But now, if T'Challa's gone, have Wakanda's motives changed? Yeah, I'm just wondering if they'll address if T'Challa's gone or not. I'm not quite sure what Zemo's plan is now, because he just kind of said, "Oh, let's take a detour over here," and Sam and Bucky went along with it. I'm not quite sure what they're actually doing here. Yeah, that was a really good episode, really jam packed. A lot of things happened, a lot of elements have changed. Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes next, because this is the midpoint of the series, so things have really picked up now. We didn't actually see a lot of John Walker in this episode. He's just kind of one step behind Sam and Bucky. So maybe next episode we'll see a bit more conflict between them. Okay, I think that's covered everything I wanted to talk about. So thank you for watching. Consider leaving a like and a comment, or even subscribing. And if you're interested, check out the Patreon. You'll find a full-length timer-based reaction to this episode up probably right now. Now I'm caught up with the show. I'll be releasing it kind of like on Friday, so kind of around midnight. That seems to be how quickly I can get them edited and out. Friday GMT for us in England. I don't know what the time zones would be for the rest of the world. Also on Patreon, you'll find polls for upcoming movie reactions, because what I want to do now is on Mondays, I'll do an MCU movie. So I'll start with Iron Man and work our way forward. And then on Fridays, I'll do Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And once Falcon and the Winter Soldier's done, I'll start doing kind of random movies. So I have a list of things I want to react to, and then I'll put them into like a random number generator and have 4 in a poll, and people can vote for what they want to see. I think that's it. Okay, thanks for watching.